We are weeks away from the start of the 2012 football season. That means BYUtv Sports analyst Blaine Fowler with us in studio. We're finally back.
We've been waiting for this all summer.
Yeah.
Summer's just a dead time, and it's time to get it going. It's so exciting.
What are your concerns, issues that you want to see from the guys here in the next couple of weeks?
I think the main thing that I'm looking for in the fall is to see that offensive line come together as a group, to be able to communicate. We know they've got a lot of talent there. You know, 3 returning starters with Reynolds and Hansen and Brown.
They're supposed to be a little thinner.
Yeah, they're in better shape, and we're hoping that they're going to be a better run-blocking football team this year. And so that's what I'm most anxious to see. I'm very excited. They've got key players at every position group coming back. This is a veteran football team with a lot of talent. It's going to be an exciting season.
They'll be in pads tomorrow for the first time. As you remember going through your BYU experience, getting the pads and getting to go hit somebody kind of ups the intensity.
Yeah, that's the fun time. That's the day you wait for, because this conditioning stuff that happens at the beginning of camp is boring. You're working on timing, but can you really do timing without the pads on or without hitting a little bit? And you love it at first, and then after a week or so, you're tired of hitting your own guys, and then you start to get your mindset ready to go and get against Washington State.
Well, I love it because once they go to practice, they don't stop practicing until there are games, and then there are bowl games and all of that. So it's officially back, and there'll be a lot of pressure on number 13, Riley Nelson, as expected. But as a senior, it seems like BYU senior quarterbacks always handle it.
Yeah, they've done well. He's getting some preseason hype. You know, nominated for some national awards. He's up for the Davey O'Brien Award, which is terrific. And it's an uphill battle. You got guys like Matt Barkley and Denard Robinson, who are probably the front runners for that award. He's also a nominee for the Maxwell Award for the top player in the country. Right. I think it's great. He's going to have a couple of big games early in the season to get on the national conscience and be mentioned in the top couple. But for BYU, a senior quarterback with experience, as gritty as Riley Nelson is, I love the fact that he moves the chains. He's a first down maker, and that's just what BYU needs. And I think we're going to see this offense take a big step forward this season.
Let's talk about some of the preseason hype, and we'll go right to the running back position. Michael Elisa, it's no longer run by committee. They're going to get a ball to him, and he's already on the Doak Walker watch list. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, BYU won Doak Walker Award winner Luke Staley. Yep. Now, if Michael Elisa can live up to that, BYU's going to be in great shape, but I love him as an every down back. He's a guy that can catch the ball in the backfield. He can make people miss. He runs hard downhill, and if they can keep him healthy and have him be the feature guy, that's something. You know, they were a little bit of shuffling back and forth at running back last year. If he can be the guy, BYU's going to be a better offense.
Cody Hoffman is up for the most outstanding receiver on the Biletnikoff watch list, and boy, he put on a show last season.
Yeah, he was outstanding. I think he's got a great shot at that award. He's a big physical receiver, and he really emerged as a go-to guy for Riley Nelson. And you have to have that guy. The guy when you're running around and you're thinking, who do I get the football to? Well, that's Cody Hoffman now for Riley Nelson.
Kyle Van Noy up for the Bronco Nagurski Award for the most outstanding defensive player, and the Lombardi for the top offensive lineman, defensive lineman, or linebacker of the year. And it's going to be a while before he can take some hits in drills this spring, but looking for a big year.
Yeah, he had that shoulder repaired, and I think they'll bring him along slowly in fall camp. They'll want to have him do some hitting in fall camp to make sure that he's ready to go for Washington State. Right. They don't want to find out that it's not sound on the first night after they've prepared all fall camp. He's a tremendous talent, maybe the most talented linebacker in terms of physical skills that BYU's ever had. And so he's got a chance to make some noise nationally, and he can put some eye-popping numbers up.
What did he have done?
He had a labral repair, and so what they do is they go in and they take some anchors and they try to anchor that labrum back down to the bone, suture it up, and you just hope that all heals back down and there's not scar tissue in there. I would assume it's a very simple repair, so I would think that he'll be ready to go, and they'll just test it out in fall camp, and if he's healthy, he's a terror for opposing offenses.
When do you think they allow him to get hit to test it out?
I think they'll wait probably a week or so into the hitting part of camp, and I think they'll increase it a little bit just to make sure that he's sound. Increase him gradually, because remember, every day that he doesn't hit is one more day removed from that surgery date, so one more day of healing. But I think before fall camp is over, they've got to test it, because they want to know if he's going to be the guy that they can go with full-time at that linebacker spot.
Brandon Ogletree on the Lot Impact Trophy watch list for Defensive Player of the Year. There are a lot of defensive-type awards, and Ogletree's that vocal leader.
He's just a great football player. Instinctive, doesn't take false steps, flows to the football, and you know, he's going to be right up there leading this team in tackles again this season because he's got a great nose for the football. You look at him, he's undersized, but he's just so productive. You love having him in the middle of that defense.
Other players on watch lists include Braden Hansen up for the Outland Trophy for Most Outstanding Interior Lineman and the Lombardi Award for Best Offensive Lineman, Defensive Lineman, or Linebacker of the Year. And there's a lot of questions on that offensive line with Matt Reynolds gone.
Yeah, but I think there's a core of good, athletic, lean guys on that offensive line. And that's been the focus in this offseason, is to get that offensive line more lean so they can be more active in the run game. I like the talent on that offensive line. It's just a matter of getting their timing down and working as one unit.
Juana Kavenga up for the Butkus Award for Nation's Best Linebacker. That's kind of an award you want to win, Butkus Award.
Oh, and think about it. BYU has 3 linebackers. 3 of their 4 starting linebackers for this fall will be preseason award nominees or candidates. That tells you that this defense is in great shape. When Bronco went to the 3-4 defense, he did it because he felt he could recruit quality linebackers. Well, this linebacking core is as good as they've had here, and if they can anchor that defense, you've got Riley Stevenson, who can punt well and get people and pin them deep, and you have a defense that can hold people, and you got a quarterback that can get first downs and move the chains. That's how you win tough football games against great teams. You just kind of change field position over the course of the game with great punting, great defense, and first downs, and eventually you score on short fields.
Stevenson up for the Ray Guy Award for the Nation's Best Punter, and he was the impact player from the bowl game, if you remember, keeping Tulsa down there pinned in.
That's the formula against some of the big teams that BYU play this year. If he can punt it well and keep people that BYU are playing with long fields to have to navigate and give BYU short fields, that makes a huge difference in tough ball games.
And you're on your neighborhood watch list, which is a whole nother
I'm on
discussion.
that. That's the only watch list I've been on for like 30 years.
It's not a good list to be on. BYU inked a home-and-home schedule with Wisconsin. Let's take a look at what that means for 2013. We don't want to get too far ahead of us because we got 2012 coming up, but look at this. 2013, still 2 home games to add, but you're looking at the toughest football schedule in the history of BYU.
There's no question, and the fans have got to be excited. We know we're going into 2012, but when Wisconsin was added to this schedule, we had to talk about 2013 a little bit. The home schedule will add a couple of games to that, and but look at this away schedule. How about Wisconsin and Notre Dame on the road in back-to-back weeks?
In November.
Late in the season. And Tom Holmoe told us that November is a tough time for the first couple of years of this independence thing, but that would fix itself over time, and now we see in that schedule that it's certainly fixed.
Hey, what screams to me from that schedule is brand new quarterback.
Oh yeah, I know. That's a tough road schedule for a new quarterback, but they'll have a veteran offensive line that year, and you hope that they can protect whoever that young guy is that is playing. What a great schedule. I mean, BYU's really stepped it up. That's as tough a schedule as any team in the country is going to face in 2013.